proven wrong coming from Vietnamese teams here. But ladies and gentlemen here, this is game number 1 here in the second series for today's matchup in Group A's group stages here. VEC Fantasy Main on the blue side, and of course RRQ will be on the red side here.
Yeah, and VFM, they have a big task to do. They need to upset RRQ to make sure that RRQ doesn't just simply lock in that playoff spot and of course gain themselves some point. But of course RRQ, with that strong start, they have warmed up. This is VFM's first game, and from the draft, from the get-go, it felt like RRQ slightly outdrafted them.
Not necessarily here. It's all about execution here. But in this case, let's take a look how they're going to be playing here. They win. They're going to be taking a little bit damage here. However, they're pretty much half HP here from side RRQ. So going to be contesting the gold buff for themselves here. But seeing how they wooden mask here, we see double wooden mask coming from RRQ. Same goes for VEC Fantasy Main. So nothing too much out of ordinary. But well, they're going to be respecting each other's territory. Nothing too much of an aggressive plays coming in from both these teams.
Yeah, and immediately VFM decides, let's put Harry bot, let's set the Cloud mid. This guy needs the resources, we need to make space for him, and the best way is to give him that solo lane. Give him that extra experience, give him that buff, whatever that we can to funnel to get this Cloud online as soon as possible, because VFM, they are playing against the ticking time bomb. RRQ, they are just waiting for this Hauke to hit level 4, and then he'll start striking.
Yeah, our bottom side here, we see a little bit of contestments here. We're going to be cutting a creep wave here, and I'm pretty sure that VEFM here, they want to control the tempo and just try and go a couple of aggressive plays here. However, RRQ, look at this. We see rotations coming from Jago already setting up near the outskirts of the turtle pit, and they are trying to go for the wraparound, trying to fight against this team here coming from VFM.
Yeah, VFM, they want to commit to this tower, but RRQ is here to go for the defense. Jago is here, jumps in the tree, doesn't get a kill, but they defend that structure.
Yep, nice disengagement here coming from VFM. They tried to go for a commitment here, but RRQ managed to stop them in the track, which is really nice. Zaman Frost was kind of baited out as well. This is going to buy a little bit of time here for RRQ to get up those farms here, especially from the side of Jago. But hold that thought for now. Brawly, will he get scouted out? He might be in some trouble, but he's going to be fine.
Yeah, and the rest of RRQ, they are coming, like you mentioned, they're setting up the turret. They stalled out that tower for a bit longer, and now VFM, they managed to get a tower. They're coming into the turtle, but guess what? RRQ, the strike, the lights gets turned off, and immediately they're gonna pounce in, try to go to the first build. Lucky will be taken out, the value out of the picture, but Hai will be able to beat that front line for now. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but RRQ seems like they've isolated Hai, and Hai has nowhere to go. Double kill for the Hauke, and RRQ, they want to go for more. They smell blood in the air. T-Max has to jump away. VFM, they concede 2 kills, and they will concede the turtle as well.
Nicely done here coming from RRQ, and it's not over yet here because T-Max is going to get dived out. He's got no Hurricane Dance, and he will get bursted down, unfortunately here. And Teeny is trying to go for a big wombo combo here, but let's take a look at the replays here because I like this play coming from RRQ. You pay attention to this here, they immediately focus on the support, and not to mention as well, Sin on the Hellcat was cutting off the backlines here. They knew that Akai did not have the Hurricane Dance. They pressured him and took him down, which was very nice. And a little bit unfortunate for VFM as well, if you pay attention, because Cloud did not exactly have mana to work with in that team fight.
Yeah, and the best part was the moment Sin saw that opportunity, he didn't just get the first blood. After that first blood, he jumped right to the back line. Like you mentioned, he got the AoE silence off. No, this is the problem with Cloud, right? You need to buy time, but all this early fight is just going to stop him when this Hellcat is so huge. RRQ, 4 kills in a row, gets the turtle and gets the tier 1. Sin's just gonna get away. Teeny is 3 levels behind. There's no way you're catching this Hellcat anytime soon.
Yeah, saving up the... You mentioned about the Cloud as well, buying a little bit of time. He needs those items, especially the Golden Staff and the Demon Eater Sword. But building up those stacks to transition into a Blazing Duet, that's gonna be the key component here. And it's not gonna be an easy thing to actually pull it off. But RRQ, they seem to realize that as well. That's why they always send Sin to cut the backlines. But as of now, Sin is 3-0-1 on the Hellcat coming from RRQ. And it's not over yet. Oh!
And this time, VFM, they want to strike back. The Grand Girl is there. That is Sonata, but not able to help out his teammate. They will lose 1 to VFM.
Yeah, 2 times in a row here coming from Win, getting taken off here. Good catch there coming from VFM, but it's only a support there. The key one is going here, and Sin getting a solo kill on Cloud, and that's going to be unfortunate there. And he's got 4-0-1 right now.
And this is the nightmare that we've been talking about for VFM. They're playing on taking time moment. This 4-0 on Sin has just accelerated that critical mass period. VFM, they need to somehow buy more time, and we keep repeating they have to buy time, they have to make space, but space is being constricted because RRQ are getting all these objectives across the map.
Yeah, I agree. And Sin as well, because he went for the high and dry assassin emblem, right? As alone himself, this Hellcat is going to be able to take down any hero from the side of VFM, especially if they're alone here. That's how exactly how the Cloud die. But now, once again, the turtle will be secure from the side of RRQ. This time, Iajago wants to pick a fight here. They're going to try and lead the charge with this Esmeralda. Will they actually catch any members from the side of VFM? But VFM, they're playing on the retreat here. They're losing the economy at least 4k deficit here, coming from VFM and RRQ.
And just perfect game sense from RRQ. Sin, he saw VFM pull off a collapse in the middle lane, realizes, okay, the front line, they are all gone from the side, from the blue side. Claude is definitely isolated. Let me just go and pick him up. And that's what happened that led to Claude's death. Now it's going to be RRQ again gaining the lead. They're going to extend this goalie as much as they can. They're not in a rush. They already hit that critical mass earlier than expected. Now Hylos going to get the pull as well. Lucky, not so lucky this time. Hylos will be the one taking that out.
Yeah, nice divine judgment there coming from RRQ, catching off Lucky, like you said as well. But it's like I said, you know, the Cloud needs more items. Divine item up already. Cloud. Broly's gonna go lead the charge here. How do we do this here?
And they're gonna fight this. Harif, he's doing his best. Hyde will not be able to get any kill onto Liam. This Hylos is pretty much unkillable at this point. You need more commitment. Thank God that Sin was not there, but even so, it kind of proved that how RRQ are so far ahead that VFM just was ineffective against them, and because of that, Sin again making space. You're kind of playing like they're trying to play like this Marsha 4-1 composition, even though it's not the Marsha, but because again Sin has such a big lead, he can go across the map. And VFM, they cannot just send one guy to deal with this Hellcat. They need 2 or 3, and you need to make sure you keep this Cloud out of the business.
Yeah, definitely here. Speaking of out of business here, because I feel like they have a lot to worry about here. Because right now, who should they focus? Is it going to be Esmeralda or is it going to be the Hellcat here? And right now, because they were confused in this kind of confusions, it's hard to make a decision here. It's all down towards how T-Max is going to be able to pull things off from side VFM, especially from the Archive itself. The Hurricane Darts is going to be the key crucial component to open the entire gameplay or tempo from the side of VFM. Yeah, and they need one solid comeback here. And now another turtle buff heading towards RRQ now.
RRQ making it look easy, and it's not just the Archive. The Valiant now plays another crucial role because of that knockback. You kind of had to start playing the Pew game. The Cloud cannot just jump in with that ultimate and start spinning and hope to get a kill. That is not going to work against RRQ simply because of the imminent threat of Hellcat. So he's going to constantly search for this Cloud, constantly search for this Broly, and again, they are not in a rush. We're 7 minutes in. RRQ, they're taking it slow. Wait for the Lord to come back, then that is where RRQ will pull off the next push, the next big strike.
Yeah, speaking of next big strike here, T-Max, he needs those fights here. RRQ, they're lying in wait, they're camping their way through, hoping to catch a couple of mistakes here, and you can see they're setting up shop from RRQ, and VFM, you can see as well on the bottom, on the mini side of the map as well, you can see Lucky on the volley was just a little bit scared to actually push too far off, but now they scout this out here. Will they catch off Lucky again? This is the goal. He goes in, Zin. Ooh, gets pushed back. He's gonna be fine. Falling Star Moon as well. T-Max going for the Hurricane Dance. He's gonna connect on one here. He will get the Sin here, but that's gonna be Hellcat. And a big smash ultimate here coming from Arna. Connects on the dot, but it's gonna be enough to revitalize from Liam. Keeps him alive. They take down the Archive, but unfortunately, VFM, they lose 3, they lose 2. RRQ is so far ahead right now, and they can't seem to be taken down by VFM.
Yeah, Broly is the last man alive trying to get away, and he will be able to buy time for his team, but like you say, RRQ with the lead, they had the item advantage. They were ready for that. That was the best fight that VFM could have gotten, and they were not able to close out that fight. And now it's Broly. He's just going to keep running from RRQ, and the rest of his team, they just respawn.
Yeah, he has to buy a little bit of time here because Broly, he needs more items. He want to hit so much damage. You saw the Blazing Duet. He did almost nothing here, but a clutch revitalized from Liam here on that Hylos was the one that set the tempo for the team. Blazing Duet getting forced out. Iron Jungle being baited for the falling star here. But Broly, he's trying to buy a little bit of time here from VFM, but unfortunately, he gets taken down. What were you thinking? Nice juke there, but bottom of the space for bottom side here for the Badang to actually get some farm from the side of VFM.
Yeah, that was the best case scenario for VFM. From that team fight onwards, everything fell into place, but you say the critical revitalized save RRQ in that fight, and they managed to get 4 in return. Broly, great mechanical display, but just the deficit alone allowed RRQ to not be afraid of him. You can see Esmeralda and I am Jago just, wow, you want to shoot me? I'm just going to let you shoot me and I'll finish you up. Sin was on the way as well, so there's no way that Broly can get out of that. But the time bought Not really sure if this is enough for VFF because we're looking at a 10k goal lead for RRQ.
Exactly, it's not going to be enough here because right now RRQ, they're in at least 1 or 2 core, 1.5 core items here for all of these players, especially every single hero from side RRQ. And I'm not too sure how VFM is going to be able to punish this here. They need to get a nice pick off again, and taking Sin was going to be a great target for them. Same goes for I Am Jago, but can they take it? Do they have enough damage to take it down? That's going to be a question here because now they have like mages, they have a lot of lockdowns here. Harif needs to calm up online, and they need the cloud as well.
And they get the pull.
Very low. Ooh!
Instant pull, killing off the Violet. That is the Lord. RRQ. They did this exact same trick against Evos just now in that second game where this Kaja is literally ripping the enemies apart. Vin was on point with all those ultimates, Divine Judgment on the right target, and because of that, without the Violet, you lost that one member. That one extra member that can help you peel, that can help keep this marksman alive. With Lord now summoned, VFM, they have to hold this 4v5.
Yeah, very nicely done here. And now the Lord is going to be knocking, appearing from the top side of the lane here. And RRQ, they're just going to gatekeep the guys from VFM. They do not want to give them any sort of buffs here. They're going to try to steal the buffs as well. You can see even Tuturu stealing the top buff from the side of VFM. And the itemization-wise, Golden Staff is pretty much out of Cloud and Badang as well. How do you fight this though?
Yeah, 12k goal lead for RRQ. The biggest goal lead that we've seen so far amassed by a team, and even though this is just the first day impressive performance from the Indonesian squad, and go for that first inhibitor. It's going to be VFM trying to make something happen. There go, Team X goes in for the Hurricane Dance. He does get 4 target, but the damage isn't enough. Harif will find one. They force RRQ to retreat, but the Lord is already in the base. Vin managing to get that top inhibitor. VFM, they stall this out for now, but the damage is done by RRQ.
Good defense there coming from VFM as well. What a huge out there coming from Teeny as well. Did the damage on, but once again, Liam with the clutch revitalize. He can't be taken down. They lost one member, but that's about it. And VFM, they need to slowly but surely drag this out fight here. But look at this. One big ultimate here. Everyone was so low. The revitalize there keep him alive, but everyone backed out alive.
Yeah, Team X needed that Hurricane Dance, and he got it perfect onto Vin, the Kaja. That hero could have been the Vin could have been the guy to end it off of VFM. So VFM bought themselves some more time to stay alive in game 1, but the odds are still stacked against them.
Yeah, definitely here, but like you said as well, the Lord knocked down. They lost 1 tier 3s up top here, but VFM, if they drag this ultra late game here, the Badang and Cloud is gonna come up online. As compared to Granger, it doesn't really do as much as compared to what Cloud and Valda is going to be offering in terms of overall damage output towards the ultra late game. And Tuturu, they know they want to end this game here. They're going to go force out another BOD, but look at this, the fight.
And this is what VFC want to do. You're starting to see this Cloud being a bit more efficient. And if you put aside the mistake from Team X that who try to contest the dragon, the turtle without the Hurricane Dance, it is all a bit better for VEC Fantasy main, but for RRQ, they are still on his tails.
That's a crucial item here coming from VFM. Divine Glaive up onto its height already on that Harif, and the Harif is going to pop up a little bit more. And Tuturu also getting the second Blade of Despair as well in this next team fight. This is going to be a crucial fight here coming from VFM and RRQ, and they have the dominance eyes on Liam. Just to try a little bit of slow to actually buy time for the team to actually snowball their way through. But VFM, they just need that one lucky hero. It's either Zin, Tuturu, or even I Am Jago to get picks off first. This is where they will slowly make their comeback, if and only if they pull it off.
And this is where T-Max and Teeny need to make the same magic trick again. They need to go Houdini once more, but this time they can't just get Vin. They can't just get one member from RRQ. They need to get the cost. They need to at least be able to kill off half of RRQ to even have a chance of staying alive. And with the all stacked against them right now, with how things are, Tuturu is just going to continue the split push on the top side of the map. And VFM, they are far away from base. This is where RRQ can consider collapsing on them. But luckily, Sin is not around just yet.
Oh, they have Immortal Arm Liam. They're not afraid here, but unfortunately, the buff actually gets stolen. Oh no. VFM, they needed that buff here if they want to win the next 2 team fights here. And RRQ,
but they found someone.
Hurricane Dance.
And it's going to be VFM pulling the trigger once more. They're going to go for Vin. Vin somehow survives because of Vitalize. Liam in everyone, but there is it. Vin and Esmeralda will kill off 2 members of VFM while the rest of RRQ stay alive. They find the fight that they need, and guess what? This is the second Lord for RRQ.
Oh, nicely done there from RRQ. Great attempt there with the Hurricane Dance, but unfortunately, it was just too hard to fight here. The Hellcat is just too great to go. Divine Judgment on Pride win here, but he doesn't care. He's got Immortal. He can tank the tower. Why not? Worth it here. Tuturu gonna poke the tier 3s, and slowly but surely they take the Lord as well on RRQ. They're thinking about closing the game, but Tuturu, oh
Wow!
The Death Sonata from Tuturu. Here comes Iron Jago. He wants more. Tier 3s are down. Another one in the middle. VFM, how will they defend this? Lucky and Teeny still alive, but the Crystal is gonna be game. RRQ takes game